Hey, what's up, everybody? It's been like forever since I have went live on my Facebook page. I'm live right now. If you don't know me, I'm Veronica Chanel. I am the host and the creator of the Lady Ball Show. I started actually on the live stream platform, but then I also am now on the radio platform as well. Shout out to iWatch 96 FM as well as Soar Radio. So this is like, I don't know, I feel like a homecoming for some reason, y'all, because I have not been live in such of a long time. It seemed like, with everything is going on. How are you doing? Hello, darling. For those who are watching me on YouTube, Periscope, as well as Facebook, do me a favor, if you will, please share this out because I want to introduce everyone to a young lady that I met. I can't even tell y'all how I met her. It's kind of it's all weird. We just kind of fell in each other's path. It's like God just kind of brought us together. She's on the West Coast. I'm on the East Coast, and we have connected so much. I call her my sister from another mother. Literally, we're like we're real close in age. You wouldn't believe it, and we're both Leos. Shout out to Leos, and I know it's Virgo season. I know it's Virgo season, but shout out to the Leos. So I want to be introducing to everyone LaCora Stephens from Pasadena, California. I like that. I like that city name, Pasadena. Our topic tonight, we're going to be talking about entertainment, but not just the entertainment industry. We're going to also be talking about relationship. LaCora Stephens she's a TV host. She works the red carpet. She has the Yes Show, which you're going to learn more about that. She also is an actress. She's like a producer. She does tons of stuff. I'm telling you, tons of stuff. She wears many hats, and above all, she's a woman of God. She's a Christian, and she's a Black woman. So I'm supporting a Black woman. If you will you share this stream out to your family, friends, and then comment? You feel free to comment, engage with us, and hopefully there's everything is cool on Periscope and YouTube because it's been a minute, y'all, and I had to refresh and reconnect and everything. Shout out to StreamYard. Before I bring LaCora in, we are, I don't know about anybody else, but I am so thankful for those two young men who created StreamYard. I'm in their group community. I'll be watching their town halls. During this pandemic, this is needed. We needed this. And they created this long before the pandemic came. So shout out to those two who created as always, distraction. Shout out to those two young men who created StreamYard. Let me bring LaCora in, bring my guest in so everyone can see and get to know her. Hello, LaCora.
Hey, how you doing, beautiful?
Hey, thank you for coming on the Lady Ball Show. I am
Girl.
so glad that you are here. I mean, y'all, look at her. Look how she look. Brown skin, brown skin, all the melon tonight. So, LaCora, just tell us a little bit briefly before we kind of you walk us through your journey, just a little bit about you.
Well, Lord, it all started when I was just a little baby. No, I'm kidding. Hey, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well. I am from Indiana originally. A lot of people don't know that. So when Veronica was like, "You're from India," I'm like, "Girl, how you know?" Most people know that I'm from Florida. So we made our way, my mom, my sisters made our way down to Florida. And that is where I loved theater. So at a young, tender age, my grandmother made us go to church, fall in love with our Easter speeches. We had to practice. And when I did my play, I loved it. And I was like, this isn't bad. I could dig this. Then I was in a drama class. Then I went to Florida A&M University. I saw a play called Dearly Departed. They were so good. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, I could do this. I could do this.
Mm-hmm.
So I became a theater major, theater education, graduated, taught theater, taught English. And then there was something that was scratching at me, something itching at me, something tapping on me saying, girl, you don't belong here. And then it
Mm-hmm.
was confirmed through my 15-year-old student, Gabriel De Jesus. He is now a young pastor. And he was like, Miss, you're too good for this. Why are you here? And I was like, did this
Mm-hmm.
little ninth grader just check me. And so at that point, I'm like, yeah, why am I here? Like, what do I want? And so I decided I was young. I had an education, no obligations. So I decided to move to California. So I moved here. Things were very, very hard. Things are very expensive. And so I got caught up in teaching again. And I'm like, what am I doing? I really need to focus on what I moved out here for, and that was entertainment. So I began
Mm-hmm.
to focus on entertainment, and it was hard. And so you're constantly, Veronica, if you look at it like this, people in entertainment, they are constantly seeking for people to give them a yes. You are
Mm-hmm.
constantly being paraded around people to tell you if you're good enough, pretty enough, talented enough, whatever it is. And
Mm-hmm.
so I was not booking a lot. I wasn't. I was a theater major, so everything was so overt, so big, and so. But television, you got to keep it small. They're like, okay, your eyes, your voice, it's too much, you know. So I went ahead and I said, I'm going to create my own show. So I did. During
Oh.
the time, I created a talk show called The Yes Show. That's right, honey. I created my own Yes. Young, entertaining, and saved. That
Mm-hmm.
is The Yes Show. I highlight Christians in the entertainment business. And then from there, the studio was on hiatus. So I was like, I need to do something. And I was watching YouTube and I saw a young lady like myself, like yourself, and
Mm-hmm.
she was interviewing Tyler Perry. And I'm like, how was she able to do that? So I did what anyone else would do. I stalked her. I researched her. I was like, okay, this is who she works for. Boom, let me
Mm-hmm.
reach out to that person. I did. I introduced myself. I said, I would love to do red carpets. He was like, who are you? So I showed him my talk show. He was like, okay, you're good, but you don't have any celebrities. I'm going to send you out on one red carpet. And my first red carpet, Veronica, was for Stevie Wonder. It was his birthday party. And
Girl.
so it was, so I was a mess, girl.
No,
I
you
fanned
didn't get
out
Stevie.
Stevie. But now he didn't do the red carpet, but it was people like Kelly Price. I fanned out. I was like, oh my God, Kelly, because I love Kelly Price
Mhm.
growing up. And when she sang, I was like, oh my God. There was another one. What's her name? Vivian Green.
Oh
Emotional
yeah.
roller. How she had her little bra trying to be cute. Now I
Hmm.
thought that I was helping her out, Veronica. I was like, oh, let me just fix your bra. Like I'm all on her clothes on the red carpet. This is me, what I'm doing. And she was like, oh, I kind of put that there because I thought it was sexy. I was like, I am so sorry. So I was a mess, but I was just excited to be there. And he loved the footage. And so he kept me on and I was hired. So after red carpets, I decided, okay, I want to do a film. Same thing. I was watching a web series and I said, I want to do this. So I created a series. Well, it was a short film into a series called Dating and Waiting. So I started with the Yes Show, then I did red carpets, then my
Hmm.
short film, Dating and Waiting, and now I do producing for, like films, as well
Hmm.
as a new show that I just did during the quarantine, because we got to stay productive, girl.
Yeah.
I decided to create a show on relationships because it boggled my mind that throughout all this chaos, racial injustice, dare I say the
Hmm.
21st century civil rights movement, that people were still out in these streets looking for love. And I'm like,
Hmm.
if we out in these streets looking for love, we may need to talk about it, go a little deeper, dissect,
Hmm.
analyze. You know
That's what
what I
we're
mean?
gonna talk
So,
about too.
oh
Yeah.
my God. So
That's
that's
what.
who I
Mm.
am. A girl from Indiana to Florida, HBCU graduate, a woman that actually believed in herself and said, I'm not going to sit around and wait on your yes, I'm going to create it myself.
Hmm.
So, yeah.
I like that, and the fact so you got started entertainment. So you started doing a lot of auditioning. You took like acting classes. You said.
Well, theater. My degree was in theater. So when I moved out
Hmm.
here because it was so expensive, child, I could not pay for these classes. Let me tell y'all something. If y'all want to come out here to Hollywood, your rent
It's a
is going to
lot.
be extremely high. And then on top of that, they have acting classes that you have to
Hmm.
pay for. Sometimes the secret around it is to ask for an audit where you could view a class for free. But classes go for like $300, $500. And
Hmm.
so it was very hard for me to get the techniques, you know what I mean, to reduce my theater skills to film. And I felt very insecure about that. And I was like, ooh, I just don't like how I look on camera. This is too much. I'm so dramatic. I'm so animated. And I really like being myself on the red carpet, even though I love theater. It's my first love. Well,
Mm-hmm.
this fella named Dessalines is my first love. But you know what I mean. You know
Yeah,
what I mean. So
I
let's
know
talk
what you
about
mean.
relationships.
Yeah. But I like the fact that you created the Yes Show. Those initials, the Yes Show. How the fact that see the thing is, I know that you have a YouTube channel. I'm one of the subscribers of her YouTube channel, but you're also on a local channel
Yeah.
in Pasadena. How did
Mhm.
you get to that point? How do you just start? 'Cause you the producer of it. Did you create the colors, the
Yeah,
layout, everything?
everything. So when I
Girl.
worked at Pasadena Media, they were like, so that's the name of the studio. So a lot of people, they would inbox me and they would say, well, how were you able to get your show and produce your own show and have it on television and all this stuff? So there's a little secret. So I already gave y'all one secret for actors to audit classes to get
Hmm.
teaching skills for free. But as a producer or a TV host, what you will
Hmm.
want to do is check out your public access. That's what it's
Hmm.
called, local public access. The city pays for it to have you come, and it's very inexpensive. You pay like $50 fee, $100 fee, and you have
Mm.
300,000
Mhm.
household reach of people
Mhm.
seeing you. You know what I mean? So I would
Mm.
be around, and people would say, "There's even a very popular commercial coach, Coach Mike. If you decide to come out to California, he was like, hey." I watch your show, the Yes Show. I was like, you watch my show. So that's basically how it came about, Veronica. I actually received a speeding ticket here in the city of Pasadena. As I said, I had no money as an actress. So I opted for the community service. And while I was doing my community service, I saw a poster that said, do you want to be a producer of your own show? I was like, yes. And so
Yeah.
I looked it up and bam, there it was. So, me looking at the speeding ticket, I was so upset. But then it ended up being a blessing. You know what I mean? So, because
Mhm.
now the Yes Show is distributed on another network called Afroland TV. So it went from Pasadena Media. We're
Mhm.
no longer there anymore because I'm like, I want more. I want a bigger reach. So Afroland TV picked up the show. They also picked up the short film, and I was like, oh my God, this
Y'all
can
hear
be,
that?
yeah,
Afroland TV.
yes,
I like that. Now that's a new platform that
it
has
is,
been created, but it has grown so much. All you gotta do is like on your iOS or Android device, right? You can
yeah.
like search for download the app, and it's
Download the
really
app.
inexpensive to subscribe to. They have some good shows up there though.
Really good, and it's a mix between like a
Mhm.
content from Africa as well as content from America
Mhm.
as well as content from the UK, so you get a look at all of these different types of blacks, because they like to put us all in one box,
Mhm.
and it's just, and
Yeah.
it's the same. Like, it's so interesting when you watch some of the shows from there,
Mhm.
Veronica. They are like, okay, I like this. So yeah.
Mhm. That is awesome. That's why I want you to kind of tell your story, cause how you just kind of out of the blue, what you did is
Mhm.
you put on that entrepreneur hat and
I,
said, you know what, I'm stepping out on faith. I'm gonna do this regardless. Did you have a team at that point? Cause you did some videos of behind the scenes.
mm-hmm.
That's on your YouTube channel. Now you do have a few people with you. How do you get them to join in with you?
So the good thing is with public access, they
Mhm.
provide you with the crew. A lot of times when you are a producer, you also have to
Mhm.
put on your tech hat or your prop hat and work. You have to put in the hours to be a producer. So you begin to network with each other. So my current DP, his name is Darren Cradoff. He's a great director of photography. I met him
Mhm.
at Pasadena Media. And then I have Ian. He is also really good. And Ian
Mhm.
is actually, he's like one of my first AC, like my first camera guy. And
Yeah.
so I have a crew for production day. But Veronica, when it comes to pre-production and post-production, you
Two
know all
different
about
things.
it. It's just a one-woman show.
I
So,
see, and that's what I like because you did a video on, was it DMX song that you
oh
used?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I saw that. I said, now, LaCora, she says she's this person, she that person. I thought it was cute. That's why I was like, you know what? This was she's wearing many hats, but
Many.
you getting the job done.
That's
Okay.
beautiful.
You're getting it
That's
done. You're doing your thing. So from
that's
there, you move to, let's get into this deep dive
yes.
relationship thing that
Okay.
you in the midst of this pandemic, y'all. LaCora sat back because she did some videos beforehand about there are some relationship coach, right? They
Mhm.
was saying something, telling women what women should do, and LaCora was very passionate about this because I can see it in her face, I hear it in her voice, and she didn't like it. So tell me how this whole deep dive show started, so they can check it out.
Let me tell you something, Veronica. A lot of producers, you kind of want, you're very active, you're creative, and so you want to find something to create. And now
Mm-hmm.
this was just serendipity, it just kind of happened. Now, even though in the back of my mind, I was looking for something to create because Dr. Holly Carter, she's the executive
Mm-hmm.
producer behind, y'all already know, Sisters of Gospel. Y'all know
Mm-hmm.
Karen Clark? She
Oh
is.
yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, okay, okay, okay. So Tweety Bird actually cast that film, and she did the First Ladies of Gospel, Dr. Holly Carter. And in one of her
Mhm.
Q&As, she said, producers, you need to start thinking differently about entertainment and how you can produce a show that can be pandemic proof. And I was like,
Ooh.
okay, interesting. So, LaCora, what can you do to be pandemic proof? We all love Zoom. We all love the live stream. Everyone is from Quibi to Netflix, like streaming is where it's at. So I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, well, I could do something virtual, but I'm like, but what will it be? And I actually have a few ideas in my hat that I just haven't pulled out yet, but we're talking about relationship deep dive. So one night editing, and I have my YouTube going on in the background, and there was a particular relationship coach that came on that was giving horrible, horrible advice for women to make a man regret losing you. His
I saw
advice
that.
was, it was so extreme to where he was telling single women that just got out of a relationship to go to a Mercedes or a high end car lot and sit in the car and take pictures to make sure he sees it. He was like, give him a movie, go buy $80, makeup. And I just said, this is crazy. So in my mind, I'm like, we need to talk about this because there were so many male relationship coach targeting Black women and making a lot of money from them. And I said, we really need to, the Bible says to study to show thyself approved in the book of
Right.
Timothy. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. We are not studying these people. We are approving them at
Right.
first glance just because they are attractive, just because they're married, just because they have a large following. And we are not dissecting their information. We are not challenging their information. We're just taking it
Mhm.
up and eating it like butter. And I'm like, y'all over there getting high cholesterol over some foolishness. This is junk food.
You scared.
It was crazy to me. So that's how the show came about. I thought about, well, in what aspect is it laid out? Is it just a bunch of talking heads? Like, what will the segments look like?
Yeah.
And that's how Relationship Deep Dive came about. So, yeah,
That is, but I
very
like
exciting
it.
stuff.
I like the show. I like that you have two other co-hosts with you. And
Yes.
then you have like a doctor. You have like
Yeah.
several doctors who deals with relationship, give they input and intake. My thing is, are people actually women are actually listening to them?
Oh my God. If you see one of the videos we highlighted on episode 2,
Hmm.
the topic garnered over 3.2 million views. And our resident counselor, Dr. Tamika Bob, she is impeccable. She's very good with analyzing information, and she took this to a different level because as regular women, I'm the regular woman, and then my two co-hosts, we have Audra Bryant and then we have Shatan M. Squires. They are both certified life coaches. So they are
Hmm.
giving you a different perspective. I'm
Hmm.
giving you a very direct Simon Cowell perspective. And then
Okay.
Dr. Bob is giving us clinical. clinical
Mhm.
perspective. And then, of course, we have the viewers. And so I just sat there and I said, women are listening to this. And because they are listening to this, this is dangerous. We really need to talk
Yeah.
about it. I just kind of want women to challenge. I want them to study. And before they approve anything that's given to them, like just stop drinking the Kool-Aid. You may have a little sip of it and just be,
Get
I
some
don't know.
water.
Right. Just put the Kool-Aid down. Just put the
Yeah.
Kool-Aid down, ladies, and start studying, start checking their
Right.
credentials, start
Right.
challenging the advice that they are given, watch Relationship Deep Dive, and make sure that you follow us along as we dissect and analyze their advice
Hmm.
on
Because
dating.
you mentioned that on one of your segments I was watching. I was sitting there thinking, I said, why do a woman have to make a man? I don't like the word make.
Make.
That does something. Am I the only one that gets this like fire comes up when
Yeah.
I hear the word? Because when I hear make, I think of um um you don't accept who I am. Like
Right. Yeah.
I'm not good enough at this level, so I
Hmm.
got to go down like a slave, and that
Yes.
that that offends me. I don't know
Yeah.
about anybody else feel. I get real. I don't care who says it, and when someone says make LaCora, everything goes in slow motion.
It's like a trigger word for you.
I said it's a trigger word. Yeah, I said I said why do the woman have to make the man like we are lesser value? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? How
Yeah.
I don't understand why do people on earth treat women and see women like that and put the men on a pedestal? Do God do that?
Mhm.
That's
No,
not
he doesn't.
even biblical. I know
No.
He put man first, but do
Right.
you think He sees the men far greater than us?
Oh
He's
no, no,
making
no,
women are
no.
leaders too.
Right.
So
Yes.
where is all this coming from? I don't understand. That burned me up, girl. I'm
To
telling
me,
you.
I believe it's just a misinterpretation. Like they'll take words, just like anything. We'll see text
Mm-hmm.
in the Bible, and we'll see historically how things have always been, and
Mm-hmm.
we recycle it, regardless of how tainted it is,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of how dysfunctional it is, because it's considered the norm, because it's tradition, and because it's you take your own spin, your own ideology, and you're just like, oh, but that's what it is, therefore it shall be. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like, no, let's test this out, let's
Yeah.
challenge this, so but a lot of times we just accept it, almost like the advice that these men are giving us. We accept it. They would, oh, they just recycle the same topic. It is
Yeah.
just disgusting at times. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. You're supposed to have like get your information from wise counsel
Yeah.
instead of just you don't just I'm like because I heard I've been watching all your segments. I'm like people are actually saying
But
this. I was like,
we
okay,
we
they don't want to
actually
hear my mouth.
we had a wonderful Minuteman, our segment Minuteman. There's a young man by the name of Van Brown. He's an author. He has a book coming out very soon, and he spoke on
Mm-hmm.
the show. And the very first thing he said took my heart, because he said, the student will determine the teacher. And I
Mm-hmm.
was like, oh, that's good. So a lot of times when you say you're supposed to seek wise counsel, but it all depends on who that student is and what they
Yeah.
see wise and what they don't. And I said, Brother Van Brown, black
Yeah,
man,
I saw it.
you can and you shall, so it's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of men out there that are actually giving really good advice. And I want them, like Devon Franklin or
Mm-hmm.
Dondre Whitfield,
Mm-hmm.
like they speak to your higher self. And sometimes people will call to that lower self, and it's okay because we're human. So we get tempted by it and it feels good. And because we want to, have a certain type of reaction or emotion, but it's
Mm-hmm.
like, Lord, you need to have some influence and counsel, like you said, that's wise, that's really
Right, right.
help.
Because I don't know where, I don't know, maybe people are taught that way that
Mhm.
like some men feel like women just do what I say, listen to me, and that's done.
Yeah.
I have a little problem with it. And you'd be surprised, of course, some men won't pick that woman for a girlfriend because of that.
Oh,
They won't pick her for a wife because of that. I get confused because I think about the God will always be the head. He will
hmm,
always be in charge, and nobody can top him, right?
right.
Now, every man on the face of this earth, I'm not putting them down, but you're getting older. You're going back to dust. Oh, I hate, ooh. And eventually, eventually, you have to answer to God. And
Right.
now tell me, if that man is following God, then if God don't mind me asking him questions,
Right.
and if God don't mind me coming to him and say, "Well, I don't understand. Why
Preach.
do y'all have a problem?" You know what
Yes.
I'm saying? If God
Yeah.
don't want me to be a slave, He
Right.
don't want me to come down. He doesn't want me to succumb to the tricks of the enemy or other
Okay.
things. He don't want me to walk around like a dog. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? So I'm like, why do men on earth, some of them, because I know there's a guy out there probably saying, why is she putting all
But
men in the
saying
same?
all men, because not all men, not all of y'all, not all of y'all, just a few.
Just some. Like, what is the problem? Does it make you feel bigger? You should already have that in you. You should know who you are.
Some of us don't. I recall a young man. He was my little college sweetheart, and he was such a good man, but just
Hmm.
not for me. And I would pray. I
Hmm.
would be like, God, send him a good woman, like send him a good wife. And now he's married. He has like 3 or 4 boys, something like that. But
Hmm.
I remember one time he told me, he said, you know, LaCora, you're so strong. He said, I wouldn't worry about anything if you were my wife. If the house was flooded, if I lost my job, you would be able to withstand it all and make sure that our house is covered. And he
Hmm.
was like, but sometimes it makes me feel like you don't even need me. And I never talked down on him like that. You know, we would get into
Hmm.
spats. I was young, all right? I was young and dumb. But I was like, really? He felt like a person like me did not need him. And some people need to be needed. And it's
I
like,
see.
you know what I mean? And so I think sometimes with men in these
Hmm.
relationships, whether there is some form of control or there's some insecurity, I think something happened to where they need to be needed. And I think with him, what his thing was, because he watched his father walk away from his mother, and then he saw the demise of his mother, and he had to take care of her. So while he was in college, supposed to be living his life, he was sending money
Mm.
back for his mom. His brother was stealing from the mother. He was such a provider. Like people always needed him, but
Hmm.
I did not. You know what I mean? So he didn't
I
know what
see.
to do with it. That
Hmm.
was just one particular situation. But I was like, well, brother, I need you. You know what I mean? In my Bill Scott voice, you know what I mean? But I was young, and at that point, he did not agree with my dreams of entertainment. He even called it stupid. And I was like, oh, this isn't for me. But
Oh.
still a good man. Nevertheless, still a good man, a great man, because I saw
Hmm.
everything he did for his mother. So I would always constantly pray, like, God, take care of him.
Yeah.
Whatever, because I saw the sacrifices he did for his mom. But I think him just growing up, always needing to be needed, always taken care of, always providing, even when he was in school, it just created a world for him to where the woman he needed to be with needed to be a little not on 10 like LaCora. She needed to be at a 5. You know,
Oh, so he wanted someone that wasn't quite like confident
not
or
confident,
strong.
but someone that wasn't able to take care of everything. Because when you're used to working and operating in a certain way,
Hmm.
and then someone comes
Hmm.
in and say, I don't need that way, and you're like, you don't need that way, and then this starts to get out of hand, and they're like, I don't know what to do with this. I'm used to operating like this, you know.
Yeah,
And so
they
I
have a
feel,
problem adjusting. You're supposed to be able
yes,
to, when you bring in somebody else, it is no longer just you.
right.
That's you supposed to be able to adjust and y'all work together. But that's I don't know. I
But
kind of
he's
see what you're talking about.
but I respected him for saying that and for knowing that. He knew
Hmm.
that I would be a lot in his world, that I wouldn't be the damsel in distress. I wouldn't be, husband, I don't know what to do with the car. Like, I'm a figure it out type of person. Like, I'm gonna make it work type of person.
Hmm.
Whereas he didn't really have that. So he at least knew what he wanted. And I could just be like, brother, at least you know what you want, but he was still trying to make it work. But I was like, you just called my dream stupid. I don't know if this will
Ooh.
work, you know?
Like,
So
wait a minute. No. At
yeah,
least respect the dream. At least support the woman. Tell her to go ahead, but just call it stupid.
yeah.
No.
He would
He
not
he
go to
messed up.
plays. He would not go to theaters and plays with me. I would be like, but my friend April Prince, they're in the play. I really want to go. He was like, do we really have to? I mean, you're not in it. Why are we going to this? I was like, this is my home. I love. How dare you? This is
I heard your voice, girl.
like, don't do that. Not to theater. Lord have mercy. So yeah,
Oh,
child. So I
I
think that's
could.
what it is.
Yeah, I can understand that. I'm glad you created that. The deep dive relationship. When is the next time it's going to air?
It will be airing this Sunday, August 30th at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. We go live at 5. Dive at 5 is our hashtag. And
Mm-hmm.
we are talking about the topic on Sunday's show is it comes from a relationship coach by the name of Zeus Campbell. And he
Mm-hmm.
says that if you are in a relationship and you have friends, if the woman has a friend and the man has friends, but they are not friends of each other, then they should not be involved or around the couple at all. So if Veronica has her friends, but you
Mm-hmm.
don't know, you know, like your friends don't know your man like that, like they're not all friends, then they
Yeah.
should not be around the couple. So that's what we're dissecting and discussing on
Is
Sunday.
it could it be due I see what you're saying. Could it be due to a possibility of cheating? You think?
Well, or sometimes he feels like he didn't mention that, but that is something that I thought. And he was like, no, it's more so because if you are not both of their friends, like if these two are together and I'm just her friend, I'm not so concerned about him. I'm only concerned about her
I
happy.
see.
I'm not invested in both of them as a whole or as a unit. And so he was like, normally this friend will try to convince this friend, yeah, child, he ain't no good anyway. He over there messing up, let him go. Like they don't really genuinely have your back. So that's the topic.
I see. I see. That's a good point. But I guess some people may debate that. So y'all get ready. They may
Yeah.
debate, be like, why does that matter? The relationship is this person and this person. And you know what? It kind of go hand in hand too when you're seeing somebody or considering dating them, and you got to also deal with their parents.
Ooh, yes. I've only had one issue with a parent. Like I just didn't know them. They were fake to me. I didn't like them, but he was also fake. He was trash. And I'm like, God, thank you for getting
Yeah.
the person out of my life. But all mamas kind of like me, except for my ex fiance mama. When I first met her, she was like, and I'm like, this lady.
I wonder they may be like that with their sons, but I remember my high school sweetheart, his mother, she was mean. I'm in
Really?
church. I'm trying to be in church, so I ain't gonna call her no name, y'all know. But I did say thought about something back in the day.
Back in the day.
But she would I'm like, did you have a son for yourself?
But that's
That's
what they do, Veronica. And my own sister admitted, she was like, "Girl, I just don't know what to do when they start bringing these little girls home. Like she needs to approve them. She'll send me pictures, and I'm like, and I'm the same way as an auntie. I'm like, that old little thing. I don't know about it. I'm looking, and I don't know what that is about women and their male sons and nephews, and I just
Mhm.
don't know. But mamas don't play, especially
No.
our black mamas.
Especially the black ones. So I'm glad you mentioned the black mamas, LaCora, because with the entertainment industry and everything that's going on right now,
Uh huh.
it's like we have systematic. We talk about the injustice, and
Yes.
we have like everyone knows everything that's been going on with the African, the black community, and what
Mhm.
as a whole what we're going through, and
Yeah.
then I'm seeing a rise in black women. I'm seeing a
Mhm.
rise in males, not just because of the vice president that, she made history. I'm seeing just a rise. There's a shift in the atmosphere. Do you
Mhm.
think, in your opinion, you have a lot of experience, once this pandemic is over or even before, do you see a change coming in the entertainment industry when it comes to black people, come to African Americans?
Absolutely. Actually, I do. I do see a change coming post pandemic, post 21st century civil rights movement. I actually do see a change. Um,
Mm-hmm.
as this was all happening, right after
Mm-hmm.
George Floyd, there was this shift that we saw that actually was universal. It was
Yep.
no longer confined to one city, no longer confined to just America, but it
Mm-hmm.
went international. And because of this, a lot of people were like, oh my gosh, now what do we do as entertainment? What do we do
Mm-hmm.
as industry? And so I'm a part of a group called JTC List. And with
Mm-hmm.
JTC List, Cheryl Bedford, she's actually the founder. And
Mm-hmm.
she's a Black woman. And I'm talking about like, don't play Black woman. She's about justice and equality. And just like her, other groups like Hollywood here, that it's by a young Black African American man. He went to an HBCU, I forgot his name, but they both have something that is identical to where they are focused on having more diversity and inclusion within entertainment. So because of that, and people like them, the entertainment
Mm-hmm.
business, like casting directors, different networks and studios,
Oh
they're
yeah.
at Disney, ABC, they are giving their time to provide mentorships, to have one-on-one meetings, to hire more Black writers,
That's
so because a
awesome.
lot of times we see, like that one token person, on
Mm-hmm.
the show. Just like the show All Rise, it's a Black female lead, but three Black
Mm-hmm.
writers just quit because they have a white male showrunner who is not listening to the advice of the Black people. So a lot of times what will happen, Veronica, they will hire you to meet a quota, but they really
Mm-hmm.
don't listen to you. You're just there. You're a prop.
You're
And
just you're
so
right.
you're just
Like
a
they used to
prop.
say back in the day, they will call it the chocolate chip or the Oreo in the group
Exactly.
for EEOC purposes.
And we're like, no, we got to stop that. Some things has to
Mm-hmm.
change. And
Mm-hmm.
and I know a lot of Black
Mm-hmm.
people, it's hard for us to use our voice, use our platform, because why, Veronica? What the industry will do sometimes is they will label you as difficult if you even have an opinion about Black lives. If you even have an opinion,
Or angry, or
you're
you're
angry, you're
bitter.
aggressive, you're bitter.
Yes, you're not a team
You're
player,
not a team player, LaCora.
girl.
You're speaking out
Exactly.
too much. And so what will happen? Like, I'm part of an acting group. And it's a lot of white people in this little page on
Mm-hmm.
Facebook. And they were just going on with their lives as if George Floyd was not just murdered. I just couldn't believe it. They're talking about their auditions, their self tape. And I said, I am just shocked. I left a message and they were not having it. They were like, oh, well, so sorry, we didn't realize it. And the founder of the group said, you know what, LaCora, you're right. He put out a long post and then he did what? Put his money where his mouth was. And he decided to
Mm-hmm.
donate $16,000 to a group of, I believe it was NAACP, but don't
Mm-hmm.
quote me on that. But I was like, a lot of times speaking out, you may look like the bad person, but a lot of times there will be something that could happen for you. So yes, I do feel, to answer your question, to make a long explanation short, that there will be some change because I've been seeing it so far. I've even had a meeting, with someone at Disney. And so I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, just because of the opportunities with JTC lists, in Hollywood here. So I will say some things are changing. Hopefully they will stick to it. The problem
Yeah.
is, Veronica, is that it starts off really good, starts off
Mm-hmm.
good, and then people go back to normal. And then we
Right.
forget about it because no one's fussing, no one's making an argument about it, no one's challenging them anymore.
Mm-hmm.
We become comfortable. So, yes, to answer your question, a change is happening. There is a shift.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you that because you're in California.
Hmm.
You're not too far from like Hollywood, Los Angeles. You
Right.
you are where everything is at. Even though Tyler Perry is blowing it up over there in Atlanta, we know
Yes.
that. And we're glad about that. But we know California is like quote is the place for like what anything. and
Yeah.
everything. So I'm hoping that, all of this will bring more opportunities for more, the brown skins. I don't know if I should say black or African American, brown skin. I don't even like the term minorities. I really
I don't
don't.
like the term minority
I
either.
never did. I never
I
knew.
wrote
When I
a
was
whole
growing up,
report.
I said minority. I'm a minority.
Yes, right. I wrote a whole report on that. That's crazy. A lot of people don't agree with it, but I do not like that word either.
Yeah, I don't like that. So I kind of shy away from that and I start saying who you are. It's
Yeah.
better that way. So I definitely wanted to ask you that and get your intake on it. I do want to shout out those who's leaving a comment. I
Oh,
do see Beauty Mistress. I did highlight some of the comments from Periscope, Facebook. I don't see anybody from YouTube yet. And Stephanie was here. I'm not sure if you guys are still here, but thank you for those who came in, left comments. Hopefully you share. Y'all, it feel like I've been forever on live stream. It's been like it took forever. I don't know if you've seen this comment, but his last name is Russell LaCora. He left this comment that he was watching you on the Yes Show.
Dean is awesome. Dean is also a
Hmm.
producer. He has some great work out there, putting in the work. And so I always appreciate his support because when we do this, it's hard sometimes and it could get lonely at times. So it's so nice for people just to say, you know what, girl, you're doing a good job. And something I don't want people to tell
Hmm.
me that I'm doing a good job just to make me feel good. But if I'm honestly doing a good job, it does feel good. Because sometimes I
Yeah.
do my stuff is good, Veronica. But then I'm just like, well, child, maybe the people don't like it. I don't know. You know what I mean?
That's
So
how I feel. But then someone
yes,
comes and like, I saw your post, or I saw it. I'm like, you saw it? Oh, you heard it? I'm like,
right.
show no. So you
So
just
thank
go
you.
on and you're not thinking. So when God sends somebody to say, you doing good, you look good, keep going, that's
Yeah,
like, oh my God, I need to keep doing this because that's encouragement.
it is.
That's why I talk a lot about supporting a black woman, even just supporting women. You know what I'm saying? Or
Yeah,
supporting each other. That's what we need,
we
not
do.
this what's been. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Right.
sick of what's been. I'm done with that. But LaCora, thank you so much for coming on the Lady Ball Show. This is the live show. Thank you
Oh,
so much. I've been trying to, get her. I finally got her. That's my sister from another mother, y'all.
yes, yes. And let me just tell you something, Veronica. Your voice, honey. Your
Huh? Yeah,
voice.
girl, everybody talk about my voice. I can't hear it.
You can't hear it. It's
I
so
can't.
nice. Like you could do audiobooks, you could do commercials. It is so soothing. It's so rich. It's so textured. It's like you could make a lot of money with that voice.
Shondo, I may have to go. Well, I don't know about the plane. I'm kind of nervous about that plane
Well,
now
you
with the
could do it
cold.
straight from your home. You already got the equipment. So a lot of times with voiceover, you sit in the comfort of your home, boo.
Shondo, yeah, I'm a shout. Ooh, look at these comments. Yeah,
Yes.
she did tell me about that. She always told me that. Beauty
Let her know,
Mistress.
okay?
And you know what? Those who what he talking about? Do a drop for a DJ that come live on Periscope all the time. I don't know about that. I'll pray about it. But thank you
You
so
got
much
to
for the
pay her. You
compliment.
got to pay her for that voice, okay? Just charge them something small at the beginning, just $25 per drop. But no, seriously, you really could. Even if you were on like
Mhm.
Fiverr, like doing voiceovers, like you have a very it could be seductive, it could be regal, like your voice has a lot of texture to it. So I love it. But thank you for
Thank you
having
so
me.
much because I had. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. 'Cause I know a voice coach. I went to a vocal coach, two
Mhm.
different ones, and they looked at me and she said, both of them said the same thing. They said, "You got it. You
Yes.
got it. You just need to work on it and develop it." And I'm sitting here like, Lord Jesus, how am I gonna do it? After a while, God started giving it to me. So I
Mm,
said, "Well, let me just keep going on in this on this street and see where it leads me." But thank you for the encouragement. I
of course.
really appreciate it.
Of
All right,
course.
everyone. Thank you for joining me and LaCora on the Lady Ball Show. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Maybe coming back on again. I don't know when. Just stay, you keep watch to the postings and like the Facebook page on
Yeah.
Facebook, and it's also on Instagram. And LaCora, drop your handles too. Your
Oh,
handles.
my handle, where do you want me to type it in somewhere? Do I know how to do
No,
that?
you could just let them know as
Oh,
far as
okay.
like the Yes Show. and your from your business and your personal platforms.
Okay, well, everyone, all of my information is on my website. If you want to find out more information about LaCora Stephens, all of my productions and projects, go to my website, www.lacorastephens.com. My handles for Instagram are at LaCora Stephens, and my other Instagram for my talk show, The Yes Show, is at The Yes Show. All right.
Mhm.
Oh, in my YouTube channel. How could I forget? Because
Oh yeah, that's a big one.
my goal is to get at least 10,000 by the end of this year. So I have like 6,100. So I really want to get like at least 1,000 a month. So the YouTube channel is youtube.com/The Yes Show. I hope to see y'all over there.
All right. All right. Thank you guys, everyone, for watching. You know how I always end it? I say, smooches, everybody.
Smooches. Smooches, everybody. See, I can't even look. Even if I try to pretend to be your voice, it doesn't even sound good. Smooches, everybody. Smooches.
Y'all stop. Bye, everybody.
Bye.